So let's talk about this Nazi flag that was seen for sale at the Bendigo Pottery Antiques and Collectibles store over the weekend. Now, Sally from Bendigo Potteries got in touch with us this morning. Thank you, Sally, for texting in. To Sally's credit, she says that the Antiques and Collectibles Centre has around 40 stall holders. They all stock their own sites. We were unaware of the presence of the flag, which was folded and sitting in the bottom of a cupboard. The flag was removed as soon as we were notified. All of our stall holders will be made aware of the inappropriate nature of such items. Thank you, Sally, for getting in touch with us here on ABC Central Vic. Well, the woman who reported the incident to the Anti-Defamation Commission on Saturday actually filmed a worker at the store unravelling the flag. Dr. Dvir Abramovich is chair of the Australian Anti-Defamation Commission, which is a civil rights and anti-Semitism organisation. Hello, welcome.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
What have you heard about this incident?
Well, this was a sad day when the woman contacted us. We felt sick to the stomach. It's a disgrace. And for me, who's been campaigning for years to ban the sale of Nazi memorabilia, it's clear that all bets are off when it comes to the Holocaust and to the sale of Nazi paraphernalia. It seems that there are businesses out there who are choosing profits over morality and showing zero respect to the victims and the survivors. And look, when we have an incident like we had over the weekend, it's a win for the neo-Nazis, but it's a bigger win for Hitler. He's probably smiling from the special place reserved for monsters like him in hell, knowing that his evil legacy is being maintained and resuscitated in Bendigo, but also in Victoria. So,
do we know, though, the motives of the stallholder? Maybe they didn't realise or understand what that symbol, what the swastika means. Maybe they just thought it was this retro flag from the 30s or 40s.
I think it beggars belief that anyone, unless they've been living on Mars, doesn't know what the Nazis...
No, there would be people who don't.
Well, then that means that there is a wake-up call for all of us to remind everyone what the Nazi swastika represents. And it represents the murder of thousands of diggers who sacrificed their lives to defeat Hitler. It represents mothers clutching their babies being pushed into gas chambers. It represents millions of people being murdered, 6 million Jews, but millions of others in open fields. This was the darkest and the most inhumane period in history. So if you are claiming that there are people who don't know about the worst crimes of humanity, then I think
there would be people who don't. That's right. I'm not saying that's anyone's fault or whatever, but there would be people who don't. And look, I understand what it means. I'm sure Sally from Bendigo Pottery was mortified to find that one of the stallholders was selling it, but I'm just saying that there are people out there who would not fully understand or not even understand at all what that symbol means.
Well, to me, this is not a two-sided argument because we can and should do better. And I agree with you. Look, Nazi memorabilia tests our values. It forces us to look into the mirror to reflect on the principles that guide our hearts. It also forces us to ask what kind of people and nation do we want to be. And this is not who we are. And over the last few years, we've seen a boom in Nazi trade. It's a global multi-million-dollar industry, not just here, but across the world. And we've seen a flood of Nazi memorabilia being hawked for sale, not just in Bendigo, but in auction houses around the country. And I repeat my call for the government, as I've done for years now, to actually ban the sale of Nazi memorabilia.
I did mention the incident in Beulah in January where a flag was flying that featured the swastika above a house, and that was taken down pronto, of course, but nevertheless it was up there, and the residents had put it up there for whatever reason. At the time, the government said it was looking at strengthening the state's anti-vilification laws. Is that what you would like to see?
Yes, and this has been a long-deferred reckoning, moral reckoning that we've had to come to grips with. Tomorrow, the parliamentary committee looking at anti-vilification laws, I testified before that committee, will table its report in the morning. And we are hoping that the committee, but also the government, takes the high moral road, puts a close on this issue and also honors the legacy of the diggers who died to defeat Hitler. So we are hoping, and let's be very clear about something. Anybody who's flying the Nazi flag, anybody who is selling Nazi memorabilia, cannot claim that they don't understand or they don't identify or that they don't sympathize with this sickening ideology. We have to own our behavior and we have to own the items that we are selling.
So at the moment, is there any kind of recourse for someone to sell a flag like that?
Well, there's no legal prohibition to selling those flags. There's no legal bar to actually flying the Nazi flag. And a few weeks ago, we had neo-Nazis marching in the Grampians, proudly, emboldened, empowered, agitated. Just yesterday, the leader of the National Socialist Network, which is a white supremacist group, actually assaulted a guard at Channel 9. Things are out of control, and we need to make sure. Now, the sale in Bendigo is one issue, but we need to make sure that we push back and we call out this threat. As the ASIO director Burgess said, this is a threat to our national security.
And yes, you're right about that. The security guard was assaulted. I think the group was doing an interview with Channel 9's A Current Affair yesterday. And there was the graffiti in Kerrang as well quite recently, as well as that white supremacist group in the Grampians making themselves known. It must be very concerning for someone like you. I do thank you for speaking with us this morning. Keep in touch.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Dr. Dvir Abramovich, Chair of the Australian Anti-Defamation Commission.